Hi, I'm Varun Krishna, and in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can incorporate the new SambaNova AI app into your Make workflows. Make is a no-code workflow automation platform that supports integrations with over 2,700 apps, including Slack, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Drive, Google Calendar, and many other apps. And with the new SambaNova AI app, you can create generative AI and agentic workflows that interact with all of those apps. There are three modules in the SambaNova AI app. The first one I'll show you is List Cloud Models. This is a very simple search module that returns the current list of models supported by Samba Cloud. In this scenario, I've connected the module to the Google Sheets module that's connected to the Google Sheet that you see in the bottom of the screen. When I run the scenario, we'll see the sheet populate with all the properties of the models that are available on Samba Cloud. Note that SambaNova supports dozens of other models that are made available only to enterprise tier customers, and we also allow you to bring your own fine-tuned adapters and checkpoints. The second module is Create a Chat Completion. To get started, you'll need to first create a connection. If you're using Samba Cloud, you can keep the base URL as is and get your key from the web page linked here. If you're using Samba Stack, you may be provided with a different base URL with a dedicated endpoint and API key that you can enter here. Once you've set up that connection, you can reuse it in this module and the Make an API call module. To configure this module, you can leave these headers as is and choose your model ID depending on whether you're using Samba Cloud, in which case you can use the List Cloud module to find out which models are supported at this time. If you're using Samba Stack, then your SambaNova contact can tell you which models are supported in your environment. The messages are based on roles and content. You can set the role as system or user, and you can set the content either manually in this page, or you can map it to modules that precede the SambaNova AI Create a Chat Completion module. And that's what we've done over here. You can also set these advanced settings for temperature, top P, top K, and stop sequences to control the inference parameters. In this scenario, I'm using this prompts Google Sheet with 3 prompts and the completions Google Sheet, which is currently blank. But let's watch it fill out. So as you can see in the result, each row corresponds to the completion for the prompt in the corresponding row in the prompt sheet. You could use this kind of workflow automation to test hundreds of prompts across several models. The third module allows you to make an authorized API call using a free-form body. To use this module, please consult SambaNova's API documentation. Using this module, you can perform function calling, audio translation, audio transcription, image understanding, and embeddings that can be used in retrieval augmented generation or RAG tasks. This scenario shows you 2 ways of accomplishing the same thing. I've set up my SambaNova AI module to make a request to the Llama 3.3 70B model and ask it to decide whether the function getWeather needs to be called, and if so, to pass it the city parameter based on what's in the prompt. There are 2 routes that can be taken depending on which filter is activated. The first filter is for function calling, and it just checks whether the function name is getWeather. If that's the case, the JSON parsing module will parse the JSON input and extract the city Paris. Then we can pass that city information to the getWeather module, in which case the module will obtain the current information on the weather for Paris, which is something that the model by itself would not have known because it is not trained on the latest information. The second path looks to see whether the message content contains city, which was not the case in this example, but if I were to change the input to a different one that asks for a structured output, then the second path will be triggered. And we'll once again obtain the weather for Paris. Note that the body field in the Make an API module can be mapped to another module that precedes it, and in this scenario, I have a webhook that's going to be listening to requests made to this URL. I've also connected it to this Google Doc that's currently empty, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you see this chart that I'm going to be sending in to my Make scenario. The notebook is going to ask the Llama 4 Maverick model hosted by SambaNova how much faster than Nebius is SambaNova in serving the Qwen 332B model as indicated in this chart. My Make webhook is waiting for a request to be sent to the URL, and I'm going to send the request by encoding this image in base 64, including it in the message format expected by the API, and converting that into a string. As you can see on the right-hand side, the scenario has run successfully, and in my doc, you can see the output of the model. The model has not only read the chart values correctly, but also calculated that SambaNova is 9 times faster than Nebius, and that's awesome. Under the hood, Make is simply making an API call to one of our offerings, either cloud, on-premise, or managed private clouds. The APIs then run on our AI-optimized hardware to provide the best open source models at the best inference speeds. Please get in touch to learn more, and thank you for watching.